You waiting?
For you to connect.
Are you there?
Hi.
Are we live right now?
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Hi, crafty friends. Are we ready to make some dragons? It's gonna be fun. I can't see anything yet, including your comments, so in just a minute, I will greet you officially. Bryce is wrestling with a computer here. Note the huffing. You gotta love technology. There we are. Oh, I can see you. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Patrice. Hi, Elsie. Hi, Alice. Hi, Diane. Hi, Andrea. Sorry if I missed anybody. Got that funny color, but I'm sure it will self-correct shortly.
Betty?
Hi, Betty Goswell. Hi, Thelma. Hi, everybody. You guys hear me okay? Let's turn on some lights and see if that helps correct the color. About time you showed up. I forgot to set the live stream until Bryce came in and woke me up and said, "You have no live stream scheduled for today." I said, "Oh, but I do. I just don't have a link to it yet." All right. I'm anxious to show you guys what I've been working on. I'll show you before, just in case Bob comes out here, because, oh, hi, Betty McSorley. Just in case he comes out. Hi, Adeline. Don't think I greeted you before. Yeah, he was so tickled with the glitter and glaze animal cards that we did that he told Bryce's sister about them probably half a dozen times. And so she said, "Why don't you make some of those and frame them for his room?" Well, they were too little. So I decided that I was going to make some big ones, and I will show you how they're turning out. I have to finish them this afternoon and then scoot over and see if I can do some curbside pickup and get me some frames. And I'll be ready to go with these, but I'll show them to you. Can you turn some lights on for me so I can show off the glitter? Maybe that will help our color a little bit. We kind of have an odd background color. Okay. Well, I'm not sure you're going to be able to see the color, but let me try and show you anyway.
Here it just corrected.
Did it just correct?
Yeah, it will in about 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. Bryce said the colors in the midst of, oh, there we go. Okay, peachiness is gone now. Better. There we go. Better on my screen too. Can you see this okay, Bryce?
Yeah.
Is it showing glittery?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. These are what I'm making for Bob's room.
Just bring it a little closer.
I'm going to frame them, and I'm making a set of 3 of them. So I'm doing it in the glitter and glaze technique, and I am going to frame them in a color to match his room. And I thought these would be way better than the little ones. And they're still turning out pretty. We could handle it if you were purple. Here's my polar bear. The penguin's not glossy yet. I ran out of Udi upstairs. I gotta go get some Udi from the warehouse. They're gonna turn out pretty. So they're gonna be fun, I think, framed. So we'll get the 3 of those done. I'll flip them over now. So if he happens to wander out to watch class, he doesn't see them. But I wanted to show you what I was working on anyway. Oh, and there we go. One of the other reasons I tried this is because I told some of you, I'm not sure I told everybody yet, that we got in the full sheets of adhesive again, but they were labeled differently, and the labeling no longer said they were heat resistant, and that worried me because I didn't want to list them as heat resistant and then find out they weren't. So I tried them on this, and they're beautiful. They work great. Great, great, great. So I will put up the Udi adhesive sheets again today, and we will now have we have packs of A5 sheets, which means that it's half the size of an A4. And then we have the full size sheets that are, A4 is 8¼ by 11¾ So we'll have new full page adhesive sheets available for you later this afternoon as soon as I can put them in. I just listed the wolf kit, and I'll get the dragon kit up right after class. Brittany made them yesterday but ran out of time to actually get them listed. So anyway, they worked great. They worked really, really well. I got a tiny bit of rippling in these full sheets, not because the adhesive was bubbling, but because I was pulling off the entire back sheet and using an entire A4 sheet at one time. So I got a tiny bit of rippling just from stretching the adhesive, but they worked beautifully. No buckling at all, or no bubbling at all. So there we go. Let's talk about dragons. I'm going to show you our kit first, and then we'll launch into this. Our first piece in our kit, of course, is going to be our topper sheet. It's beautiful. And we got this really fabulous dragon scales paper with the dragon images on the side. We've got these gorgeous dragons in flight. Your kit this time is going to include the inserts, because the inserts for this pack are so very pretty that I thought they needed to be in here. So we are going to have the insert sheets. You get 3 of those. We'll have black Miri. You will have, for this kit, you're going to have 3 sheets of A6 Miri. You're going to have a DL Miri. You're going to have a little sheet of blue cardstock. You're going to have half a sheet of foam squares, and of course you're going to have your cards and envelopes. And for this one, you get 3 European A6. These are the 300 GSM cards, so the nice heavy ones. And you get 3 of the 5x7s plus your envelopes. So it's a good kit. We're making 6 cards today. I did not schedule us to start early because, candidly, the cards that we're making are pretty simple. I think we can whip right through them, but they're just fabulous. And you will note that I did not do a tremendous amount of embellishment on these, because this is one of the kits, guys, where you kind of want to let the images speak for themselves, because they're just beautiful. And we didn't want to yeah, we didn't want to overdo it. You know, we want them to be gorgeous when they're ready. So we're going to start out with the Dragon in Flight card. This one here. This is by far our simplest. We're literally going to cover the card and put a tag on it because I didn't want to do anything to this. I thought this was just really spectacular, just like it was. So all I did was cover my 5x7 card and put a tag on it because it was beautiful. So let's do that one first. I always like to start out easy on myself. Okay, so we're going to take our cardstock, we're going to fold it, we are going to put down our 3 lines of finger lift tape. And what are you guys working on today? You guys have a kit of some sort there you're working on? 3 birthday cards. Yay. Who else got a project you're working on? You just going to chat and visit? Yeah, they don't need much at all. Okay, so I got my wrapping presents. I need to do that desperately. I did get my card boxes done last night. That's always a little bit of a chore to get those done because we have so many to put out. Although I had less this year than I usually do because I'm not seeing all the people I usually see over the holidays this year. So I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Mary. I hope you feel better. Okay, let's see. I didn't cut this down or anything. I mean, I literally just put my tape on it, matched my card. Oh, shoot. Matched my cardstock. Wow, 100. Hi, Azalea. Azella, right? Azella.
Oh
Wow, 100 cards. That's a lot.
Wonderful to dedicate or donate them.
I barely got this cardstock on there, but I got it on there crooked, so I usually don't like to take them off, as you know. I did take this one off because it was barely stuck down, but I got to fix my adhesive because I got it on there
Say hi
unstraight.
to Betty and Elsie.
Yes, I did.
You said hi to Betty.
Yes, I said hi to Betty. I'll say hi to Betty again. And Elsie, I said hi to Elsie earlier. But I'm happy to say hi to Elsie again because I'm so glad you guys are hanging out with me. You guys are working on your Valentine's cards. I got some good Valentine's ideas for you. We'll start on right after the first of the year.
Okay, so that's perfect.
Okay, that's better. Let's put it on straight. That's a thought, huh? Can be a good idea to put your card on straight. An idea that obviously escaped me earlier.
Green grass or
There we go.
Yeah.
Do have just a little bit off on the back. So. There we go. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. And we got to find our topper sheet in here and pop our little sentiment out. Our little sentiment for this one says, "The sky is not the limit. It's just it's only the beginning." Little nibs on here. I'm gonna trim off.
Elsa made Rocky Road earlier.
Ooh, I like Rocky Road. Yes, we are gonna do penguins before Valentine's. We absolutely are. Oh, peanut butter balls. Oh, you guys. You know, I gotta say though, um, Bryce and Lauren were putting together their Christmas baskets last night. They always do baking, and there are so many. Don't know if it's working now or not. It's working, Thelma. I can see your comments. Um, yeah, they made so many treats. Oh my gosh. I added two. I made almond bark, which you know is really pretty easy. Salted nuts with chocolate clip poured over the top. And then I made some peppermint bark. But Bryce and Lauren just made all kinds of things. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how many things are in their boxes, but they're huge. Huge, wonderful boxes of Christmas treats. Okay, our first card is done, guys. Hi, Humberta. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Patrice. I said hi to you before, I think, but I'll say it again just because. Yeah, welcome, guys. All right, our first dragon is finished. That was a real chore, wasn't it? Okay, let's see what we got next. Where's my stack of cards? There, it doesn't really matter where we go next. They're all pretty easy, but, well, I like this one. Let's do this one next. We'll do the other one in flight because it's beautiful. We're gonna need our card stock. We're gonna need another 5x7 card. And just our toppers, I think. These are so easy, but they're so beautiful. The kits are now ready. And like I said, Brittany got them together last night, but she didn't have time to write the listing. So I just put up the wolf listing with no pictures, but I at least got it up. And I will get the dragon kit up right after class. So you guys can get these kits if you want the kits. Oh, they're so neat. Patrice, you're giving me a 2. Thelma, 2. Pat. Is that the 2 as in our signal that you need me to stop and wait for you? Or is that a 2 that, you know, I hate to ask what a 2 is. Patrice said, wait, I'm behind. They don't remember the number for being behind. The number for being behind is 2. So you are correct. Oh, you have your kit there already, Patrice? Is that it? I will wait for you. What are you doing, Lauren? Lauren just came sneaking in like she's up to something. The scissors or the trimmer? Oh, there's lots of them back there. Okay. I don't trust you with numbers at all. I don't trust you at all, lady. Number 5 for I just finished my brownie. Oh, Patrice said, I don't have my kit. That's why I'm behind. Well, I knew you didn't have a kit, but I thought maybe you already bought the topper set. Oh, you guys. You guys. Harassing the teacher. Oh, speaking of harassing the teacher, I want to give you an update on the Heartfelt Creations class. You guys might not like me for this, but I want to tell you what I did. I opted out. Number 71, I have no brownies. I opted out of the Heartfelt Creations class, and I want to tell you why. I love the idea that they were willing to do it for us as kind of part of that exclusive class thing. But I looked at the supplies list, guys, and to buy everything that she was going to use in the class to make 3 cards, it was over $300. for 3 cards, and I just could not bring myself to recommend to you that you purchase all those supplies. And that's kind of the deal, is that the stores are recommending the purchase of the materials, and we send out the list to you guys and say, here's what you should buy for this class. And I just couldn't make myself do it. Now, I did say to you that I love Heartfelt Creations materials. I really do. And we are going to use some of the Heartfelt Creations materials when we do our flower making. But I just could not. Hi, Susan. I just could not, in all good conscience, recommend to you that you spend that kind of money. So I opted out, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. I'm going to try and get Margie to do a class for us coming up, maybe on a Thursday night. I don't know how many of you might be interested in this, but I'm thinking one class that I should not teach because because it involves a needle and thread, and that's not my forte, is one class that I should not teach because it involves a needle and thread is the embroidery on paper. But Margie's doing some really beautiful little embroidery on paper cards. And I thought if you like that, we could move forward and get Margie to maybe think about preparing an embroidery on paper class for us. Is that something you guys would be interested in? We have a lot of really beautiful embroidery patterns in the store and some nice embroidery kits and things. So if you thought that sounded fun, I would ask Margie if she would start preparing that. Does that sound like something you guys might enjoy? How many of you like embroidery? You like that? Okay, sure, yeah. Okay, I'll talk to Margie about that, because as we roll into the new year, it does sounded fun. So I'd like to take it because it's not something that I should teach, but I would like to learn to do it. Okay, good. Unless they're $100 each. Yeah, they won't be $100 each. Okay, good. All right. I will ask Margie if she will think about putting that together for us. Good. Excellent. 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 Yeah. I hate it after I told you guys all about that to opt out of it, but that was crazy, the Heartfelt Creations thing. I really like these guys, and I would have liked to have done it, but it just was too rich for my blood. So, yes, yep, I'm taking this dragon topper off of our sheet. It's a 3-piece frame. I'm actually using the largest dragon topper from the upper left-hand side. I'm taking this little ring out. I'm going to set it off to the side and use it. Actually, I guess I did put it in there. Never mind. I was going to say I'm going to use it for something else, but I'm not. I'm just going to put it inside of here. Well, I already tax your budget sometimes, I think, with twice-a-week projects, so I just, like I said, I just couldn't bring myself to do that. If I wouldn't want to spend that much money, I didn't think you guys would want to spend it either. I do think it's nice they're doing the class to help merchants, though. I want to reiterate that in case somebody's checking in later, watching my comments about it. Yeah. Yeah. Too much. Too much. These cards right here are working out to $2 a card. Your kit's going to be $12 for 6 cards. That's a number I like better. And the wolf cards, just because it only makes 3, they ended up being $3 a card, but the dragons end up being $2 a card. So yeah, I like that number better. I'm putting some foam squares on my frame. I put quite a few of them on the frame because it's not a real wide piece. And yeah, you can afford to make them, you can afford to donate them, you can afford to play and give them away and do the things that you can do. Yeah. No, yeah. I came into card making thinking I'll make my own cards and save money. The truth is, you don't save. Hey, Sharma, I don't know if I said hi. Hello. um, yeah, I don't know that I save a lot of money by making my own cards, but I sure do enjoy it. And I know that all the people I give them to really enjoy getting the homemade cards. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, save money. No, I don't save any money, but I do have a lot of fun. And as I was sitting here last night, it always takes me a long time to put my card boxes together that I give away for Christmas because I told you guys that's what I do, right? And it always takes me a while to put my boxes together because not only do I want to match all my cards up with a matching envelope and a sleeve, which keeps everything beautiful and nice and tidy for them until they get ready to use it and I don't have my cards tearing each other up in the box and stuff. But also, yeah, I find myself trying to match the cards to the people, you know. I look at it and I think, what would they like? You know, which cards would they enjoy using the most? And what reminds me of whom? So I actually think that's one reason they like them, is because your stash has become a monster. um, I think that's one reason that my family likes my cards so much, is because I give them the ones that I think are reflective of their personalities. I shouldn't say that though when I'm handling dragons here. Nobody out there, if any family happens to be watching, I don't think anybody's a dragon. I just think you'd enjoy using the dragon cards. Let me correct myself there. My son-in-law loves dragons, and might have to send some of these to my daughter. Her best friend collects dragons too, so she might have to have some cards to give to her hubby and to her best friend. Okay, I ran my glue bottle around the inside of my frame and I glued my little center frame down. Purple camping and purple fishing carts. Okay. You know what, Sharma? I used to tell my husband all the time that card making and my crafts were cheaper than therapy. Now he says, "Oh no, Debbie, it's not. It's not. Therapy would be cheaper." Therapy would be much cheaper. Yeah. But he gets to live with a happy wife. And that there's something to be said for that. Mm, you guys are too funny. Is everybody ready for Christmas? I haven't wrapped a single package yet. I know, me, the one who was just giving you lessons and tying beautiful bows for your packages. Yeah, I haven't wrapped a single package. I have a shop full of wrapped packages. They're all empty. There are, and they're always coming out with new things. Thank you, Debbie, for the rush order. Need to have this set done. Down to Boston by New Year's. Okay. Patrice says her hubby's a psychologist, and he says she rationalizes her shopping too much. I've always said if I don't make it in this business, I'm going to open a 900 phone service. I'm going to call it Dial a Rationale, and I'll give you the rationale to do anything it is you want to do. I'll help you out with that. Put foam squares on the back of my centerpiece of my topper. Now this one, I'm going to do some double foam squares. See how this one kind of stands up from our frame, and then it stands partially on the card. So I'm going to put foam under this side, and then I'm going to double my foam squares on this side. Calling right now, Patrice says. Oh. Okay, so we'll put a few foam squares on here. I told you these are going to be quick and easy cards, but they're spectacular. It's not because of what I'm doing with them. It's because the imagery itself is just so beautiful. And sometimes it's a shame to do too much with them when they've already done a beautiful job with the imagery, you know? So... there's no shame in making it beautiful by just letting the art show. You've been busy if you haven't had a chance to watch a Snoopy Christmas yet. Yeah. You know what my favorite Christmas is? I just love it. I love the Muppet Christmas. I love the music in it. It always makes me happy, and that just drives my family crazy, that show. No, Mom, please. But it must be done. I love a Muppet Christmas. So I have that on DVD, and every year I have to watch it over and over because I do love the Muppet Christmas. There we go. There's card number 2 done. Let's move on to card number 3. What do we want to do next? Let's do the dragon scales. Oh, you know what we should have done, though? Is we could and should have inserted some of these. So for this one, oops, let's get the right insert sheet, though. These inserts are just spectacular, just like the cards are. That's why I included them this time. They're just really beautiful. Let's see. I think we're using, yeah. On this one, because the card itself was more simple, I used this part of my insert. So I'm just going to stick that in there. A dragon scale stress. Good luck finding that fabric. You're going to have a hard time finding real dragon scales. Oh my gosh, being able to card make Elsie this year has just been a lifesaver, hasn't it? Having something to do while we're all stuck inside. Absolutely true. That is a good observation. Okay, to put my insert in, all I did was put one piece of tape down my margin and I stuck it in. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to, maybe I can get mermaid fabric and dye it. That's true. Okay. I'm going to just trim around this now. And my card will be beautifully inserted. Let's look at this when we open it then. Isn't it just spectacular? I love that. It's beautiful when you have the matching inserts in them. Okay, I'm going to use the rest of my piece of insert paper because it matches my cardstock. I'm going to use the rest of my insert paper to do this one. You guys down in Southern California are really being hit hard. It is so relaxing to make cards, I agree. And as I make them, I like to visualize people getting them, you know. And that makes me happy. Okay, we are now inserted. Okay. Now, what next? Let's do this one. We'll do the dragon scale paper next. We need one of our A6 cards, and we need an A6 mirror board. We want one of our smaller cards from our kit. These cards we put in the kit are almost always I know the future president of the Purple People's House. Oh. Patrice says that she thinks the silicon gods say that if they keep them quarantined long enough, they'll all buy new PCs.
For you.
Well, it did work for me. I just bought one. I really needed a new PC, though, I have to say, because Patrice says Bill Gates can kiss my grits. I did need a new PC. It got to a point where my power cord wouldn't stay in it. The feet were all gone on the bottom of it, so it slipped all over the table when I was using it. My disk drive fell apart. The keys stick. Hi Jordan, certain letters don't type at all. It was kind of time to replace my PC. Anybody else would pick it up and they'd say, holy cow, how are you even using this? Well, it was my favorite PC, and it had all of my favorite laptop, and it had all my passwords in it. Oh. We're making dragons, Jordan. Saying I thought maybe I was going to need to give you a set of these cards so you could share them with Jake and Michelle. Because they're beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay, I put my 3 lines of tape down and I put my Mary on top and I'm just flipped my card over and I'm cutting around the back of it. Now I have my card faced in that beautiful gold mirror board. I need my little purple cloth because I'm getting fingerprints all over. It's almost not worth it to try and take your fingerprints off as you work with Mary card like this because you're just going to get them back on there anyway. You just almost need to wait till you're done and then wipe them all down. Okay, my card is 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. Let's just make sure because it's always good. It's actually 4 1/4 by 5 7/8. So I'm going to make this 4 inches wide. Let's get that straight. 4 inches wide by 5 5/8 long. I'm keeping the top of my image and I trimmed off the flowers on the bottom. This would make a beautiful tag, by the way. Let's see, you could put a little note in Jake's lunchbox. Tell him you're thinking about him while he's off at work. You could give one to Jake too. I'll put him in with your Christmas gifts when we send them out, which I haven't done yet, Jordan. So you're not forgotten. I'm just behind. I'm going to trim this with just a tiny bit more because I think it would look better. Just a tiny bit more. There we go. Yep, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to use my, remember what I said last time in case you weren't here when we were doing the wolf cards? You want to use tape instead of glue when you're assembling these cards because glue does not necessarily stick really well to Mary. It can pop loose because there's nothing for the glue to hang on to. The paper is so glossy that glue can just let go. I haven't wrapped a single present yet, Jordan. That's one reason why your presents didn't leave for the post office today. Daddy did send. Is it okay to tell her you sent her box?
Sent her a box.
Dad sent you your box with treats. You can open that when it gets there and begin enjoying your treats. But Christmas is still coming. Okay, using our tape flags, you guys will remember that when we tape flag something, we put 1 line of tape down each side. We create a little flap that goes out to each side, our little flags. That way we only have 1 inch of adhesive exposed. Yes, you are correct, daughter. I have just a little bit of roughness at the bottom there. I want to trim off. Once I have my tape flags, then I can move things around, get everything right where I want it before I hold it in place, pull the flags, and I get a nicely centered card without the risk that it slides all over the place before I tape it down. The tape flags. So we got this covered, and all we have left to do with this one's put a little button on it. These are the easiest cards, guys, but they're just beautiful. I thought about making shaped cards and stuff from them, but I just liked them this way. Debbie's goodies are why I haven't bought Christmas presents for anybody but myself. Oh, well. Christmas is for you too, Patrice. I like it when my daughter calls and says, Mom, what I need for Christmas is this piece of software, and I need it right now. Will you just buy it and let me start using it? Because I really need it for my work. Okay. You still got a few other things, though. Patrice says, oh, I know, and I'm getting lots of really great stuff. Oh. Okay, let's do this one. We're going to get out another one of our A6 cards. You get 6 cards in this set. 6. That's pretty good. I was a little disappointed to only get 3 from the wolves, because I always manage to get an extra 1 or 2, but I have to rely on them to give me images to work with, and there were only 3 printed pieces for images in the wolf kit, but they are spectacular wolves, I gotta say. Patrice is still on the buying herself presents theme. She says, "Yeah, I know, and I'm really easy to shop for. I know exactly what I like." Oh gosh. All right. Oh, those wolves are just beautiful. I've enjoyed both of these kits. I haven't done the fairies or the unicorns yet, but they are our next 2 weeks. And um, I'm looking forward to doing them too. I just had to stop and do a little bit of Christmas here. In fact, I know I'm a little bit behind on communications because I see that I have a lot of things on my computer, but Brittany wouldn't let me stop putting my boxes together yesterday long enough to do all my emails. So I know I'm behind to some of you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to balance doing personal and professional stuff. And sometimes that's not an easy balance, but I'm getting it. I'll get there. I promise I'll be there. If I haven't answered you yet, I promise I will. Okay, we're going to do some black Miri on this one too. So we've got our card covered in our gold. I really like, by the way, I really like the wider gold margins on this for some reason. And then the thin gold and then the dragon scales. I just think that's really pretty. So I'm going to try and do the same thing here, which would mean I need 1/4 inch margins. So if this is almost 4 1/4, just a little shy of 4 1/4, then I'm going to want my black to be 3 3/4. So I'm going to start by putting a piece of that. And then, oh, I just cut my paper wrong. Okay, I want to stop there and tell you what I should have just done. I've got more black here and it doesn't matter, but I don't want to mess you guys up. To do these cards, what I should have done is I should have cut 1 black from here, an A6 from here, okay, an A6 from here. Sometimes I get talking and I don't pay attention. I should have cut an A6 from here, an A6 from here, and my 5x7 from this end. You'll get more out of it if you lay it out like this. So what I should have done is gone ahead and cut my cardstock in half, and then cut it in half again to have my pieces for these two. and then I would have had this big piece for my 5x7. Does that make sense? Okay. So when you do it differently than I just did, because I'm going to have to add some cardstock, and you shouldn't have to do that just because I was being silly. Okay. All right. So that's going to work perfectly for my borders nonetheless. And then I want to cut my dragon scales paper to be, I am going to do this one, right? I'm going to cut this, let's see. Need to make sure I'm cutting it the right direction. This is my width. I'm going to cut this to basically in half so that I have my piece for this card and I have my piece for this card. So, hi Sharon. Okay, I'm going to, got my black, and my black is 3 3/4. I'm going to make my dragon scales 3 1/2. I've got an 1/8 inch border. Perfect. That's perfect. And then I need to cut my lengths here. This one is 5 5/8. So I'm going to make this, or it's 5 7/8. I'm going to make this one 5 5/8. So it will sit on top. I'm going to cut a little bit more. Let's see. I'll make it 5 1/2. That looks better. So if that one's 5 1/2, then this one needs to be 5 1/4. Let's sit on top of that. We'll see how I'm doing. Yes, just right. Just right. So we end up with this. Okay, here's another good piece for a tag. All right. Go ahead and put some tape on these. As soon as I figure out what I did with it, there it is. Hi, Kim. Welcome. We're making some dragons, Kim. They're beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm going to make my tape flags again. I'm going to use tape flags a lot doing this because it, again, my glue won't stick well to this, so I want to, it's just the bottom of my tape, but I don't want any sticky hanging down below, so I'll get rid of that. Okay, I'm centering my black cardstock, get it right where I want it, hold it firmly with one hand, pull the tape with the others, do the same thing on the other side, and we get a beautifully centered piece. And I'm going to put my tape on the back of my dragon scales. Tape flags are just the best. They're just the best. Hi, Betty Goswell. Welcome, friend. I'm going to put my tape flags down. Little K's. I like that. Katie and Kelly. The little K's. Okay, and I got my nice narrow margin here, so tape flags are even more important when you got little margins because you just don't have as much room to play with. But that looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Tape flags are just the best. And let's see here. This time we're supposed to be using this little popper. And we're using the big sentiment right above it. This one says, where there is kindness, there is goodness, and where there is goodness, there is magic. Dragons just popped up on my phone. Okay. If you say so. Some of these have a little bit more pronounced nibs this time, so if you see me keep grabbing my scissors and trimming, I'm just getting rid of the little nibs. I don't like the little nibs to show. I'm just getting rid of them. The paper inserts are beautiful. They're beautiful. Okay. Pop a few foam squares on here. Doesn't need an awful lot. It's a nice solid piece. I'll put probably about 5 or 6 foam squares on it. That's all that's going to need. And I'm going to pop this right in the middle towards the little bit higher than center to allow room for that tag to go below it. And I'm going to pop this right in here. And then I actually taped this one down. You can tape this down. You can put it on foam squares, whatever floats your boat. Whatever makes you happy. Getting a little nibs off again. I think I'm just going to tape it down again. I do like the way my other card looks, and I just made this one flat. Yeah, the fingernail file is a good way to get rid of nibs. However, because we're working on Miri, be careful of the fingernail file because those, it'd be real easy to scratch the Miri with it too. So do be careful when you use a fingernail file on Miri Magic. Okay, okie dokie. All right. Here we go. This one's done. We do need to insert it. Let's see what kind of insert. I used Dragon Scales paper insert last time. And that should work well this time. Let's see what I've got left to use. Okay, that's where I used the big dragon. Okay, I should have plenty. All right. I'm going to use some paper scales here. I think I'll take this one right here. So I'm just going to put one piece of tape down at my margin. And I'm going to pop this in here. And I'm going to trim around it. And I will put the pretty insert paper right inside my card then. And that's another one done. Wow. That's amazing. You guys know we have 4 cards done already. These are simple cards, I told you, but they're gorgeous. Simple but gorgeous. Let's do this one next. We have our piece of dragon paper. We need gold mirror board. I should have one left here somewhere. Somewhere. I should have one more. Do I not have one more? Did we miscount? If we miscounted, I'll have to go back and add another one. Because this one goes with this. This one goes with this. This one goes with this. Maybe I miscounted my Mary. I do believe we did. But Brittany and I both count. Oh no. Is that it? There it is. Oh, we didn't miscount. There. Okay. Worried myself there for a minute that we had miscounted, but we didn't. We didn't. Brittany and I both counted, and what did I do? Okay. So I'm covering my card with my 3 pieces of tape. Patrice says she's moving to the land of enchantment because she's so disillusioned with the way the world is right now. The world's going to get better soon, though. I am feeling confident of that. We will all hang out and be safe for a while till we can get our shots, and then be safe a while more. And then we can maybe begin to get back to life as we have previously known it. Wouldn't that be something? You know, I think people are, at least for a while, people are going to have a little bit more appreciation for just the basic things in life. I hope so. I know I think I will. Just appreciation for being able to get in my car and go to a restaurant for dinner. An appreciation for being able to walk into a store and shop. I haven't done that since March. Yeah. Maybe even before. I don't know. Because I don't always do it anyway.
Still have stocking stuffers to purchase.
What's that?
Stocking stuffer stuff to purchase.
Yeah. I need to make one for your dad this year, too. Hug your kids and your grandkids. Amen. I want to go hug my mom. I was talking to my mom on the phone this weekend, and she said, "Do you realize I haven't seen you since February? Our birthdays." And I'm not even sure we did our birthdays.
Times?
Oh, one time we did, I guess. Yeah. But not much. Said, it's been a long time since I've seen my kid. I said, I know. Okay, let's see. So 4 and almost a quarter. It's kind of between 4 and 1/8 and 4 1/4. That's why I keep vacillating back and forth. So I'm going to make this 3 7/8. I am going to have to grab another piece of black cardstock because of the way I cut mine. So you guys do better, okay? You do better than I did. And I'm going to make this one 5 5/8 for my black. That looks good, just right. And then that means I need to cut this one down, and I need to go one smaller on this. So if my black was, excuse me, 3 7/8, I want 3 5/8 for my scales. And it's 5 5/8, and I'm going to want 3 or 5 3/8 for my scales. See how that does. That's looking good. We got our measures okay. All right. And then the kit's available for this set. Yes, Kim, I was just saying a little bit ago that the kits are ready. I will get them up right after class today. I put up the wolves. I need to put pictures in it, but I put up the wolves just before class, and I'll put up this one as soon as class is over. And I will also be listing the sheets of heat-resistant adhesive in both the A4 and A5 sizes. A5 is half of an A4 sheet. So I'll be putting those up after class as well. So yes, we're very close. Very close. Brittany finished the kits for me when she was here last night, but she ran out of time to actually write the listings. Okay, using my tape flags to get my scales paper all centered. Now I'm going to use my tape flags to get my black and scales centered on my gold. I was just saying, Kim, that these cards here work out to $2 a card, right at $2 a card for these dragon cards. And then the wolves worked out, excuse me, because the kid only made 3, the wolves worked out to $3 a card. Just still great. Okay. Get that centered right where I want it. Hold it down firmly. Pull my tape flags. And that looks good. Now, I am going to wait until I have finished my other card to finish this, because I'm using some scraps to do this. And I want to make sure I have big enough pieces. So I'm setting this aside for just a minute. And let's go ahead and do this one. It's black. Remember what I said about how we lay these out? Okay, let me show you one more time. I want you guys to lay these out on a full sheet of black mirror board, because it's important that you do better than I did. Okay? Hi, Karen. When you lay these cards out on your black mirror board, you have one sheet to finish your 3 cards. They go like this. Your 2 smaller pieces are going to be cut from one end, and you're cutting your cardstock in half, and then you'll make your 2 smaller cards here, and you'll make your bigger card on the other end, okay? I did it wrong, so you guys do it right. Okay, setting that aside for just a minute. Getting my half sheet of Mary out here, and I'm going to cover my card in black. This one's dusty because I've been doing my embossing powder here for Bob's Christmas present. It's right under my hand. And putting down our 3 sheets, our 3 rows of tape. Okay. I hate it when I do something wrong. Then I feel like I want to just reiterate over and over again how to do it right so you don't follow what I did and do it wrong. So forgive me for repeating myself. I know you guys are paying attention and you'll do fine. I just want to make sure that I don't lead you to do something crazy like I'm prone to doing once in a while. Okay, so when you're cutting your black out of this piece, then you have this piece right here left for a trim on the other card. See there? So I obviously did these in a different order than I'm doing today. Okay. And then we're putting this one, and where's our blue? There's our blue. You're generous with me, you guys. You're very generous with me. Okay. My blue is just, like a 32nd of an inch wider than my gold. So I'm going to take just the tiniest little tiny strip off of my blue. And that looks good. Now, I would not, because I'm covering up most of my gold, I really wouldn't have to have all of that gold underneath. See what I mean? Look, I'm only got to use a 1/2 inch down here and a 1/2 inch up here. So I really don't have to run this whole piece underneath. A tower card. I don't know a tower card. I'm not familiar with that. We're doing we're actually not doing a pop-up box, Roberta. We're doing a, what do you call it? An explosion box. An explosion box after the first. I don't know a tower card. I'd love to see that, Karen. Love with the design. Huh. If you have a picture of a tower card, would you email it to me so I can look at that? I'd love to see that. And if you share it, I'll share it in the newsletter. It goes to info@SimplySpecialCrafts.com. So if you have a picture, would you send it? I'd love to see it. I'm going to just cut myself a couple 1/2 inch strips here of this cardstock, of this Miri this time. This is 8 1/4. If I go to 7 3/4, I should have a 1/2 inch strip. If I go to 7 1/4, another 1/2 inch strip. I'm going to just try this differently this time. You guys are always asking me, is there a way we can kind of conserve our materials? And I'm going to say yes, just use a 1/2 inch strip here. Instead of cutting down the blue and then cutting down the gold, I'm just going to cut some 1/2 inch strips off the gold and put above and below. I didn't have background paper left to use on this one because we had already used up. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate that. Because we had already used up the background on our other 5 cards. So this created background, I came up with this thinking that I wanted to really use a color that would bring the blue out in the dragon, because the dragon on this one is kind of an aqua blue. And I think we really accomplished that with putting the blue cardstock in here. It really pulled the blue color out. And it's just such a simple thing to do, but it really was successful in making that dragon pop. And just putting a little piece of tape on each of these gold. This is much easier than what I did last time too. When I designed this card initially, I had to line everything up so precisely in order to put the gold underneath the blue. I don't know why I didn't do this to begin with. This is way easier. I recommend you do it, then you'll also have enough gold to do your strip for your accent on the other card. So let's do this way. So I'm popping my other gold strip here at the top of my blue. Now I'm going to, excuse me, nose itches. I'm going to put my tape flags here. And I'm going to center this, giving it almost 1/2-inch borders. Me too. I love that too, Roberta. Thank you. Karen, you're wonderful. I appreciate it. I'll share it in the newsletter. I still owe you a newsletter for the wolves and this one, so I'll share that card design in the newsletter. And I will also give you links to the adhesive that we've been talking about, so you can find that easily. And I will give you a link if you, just in case you didn't get the email that had the link to the Dot and Do kit with the poinsettias. I'll put a link on that also. Somebody was asking about that, so I will link that as well. And this ends up being a perfect fit. I'm going to trim those little nibs again. They really seem to show more on the reflective paper. You notice I don't normally do this. I don't normally worry about the nibs at all, but they just seem on this Merry Magic to show more than they do on others. I'm going to put this up on some foam squares. Yes, info at SimplySpecialCrafts is exactly right. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Brenda, I will get those for you. I always rewatch my video to pick up anything I've promised. So I will be sure that is in there tonight. Okay, put a few foam squares on the back. Doesn't take an awful lot. It's a pretty big, solid piece, but a few. Oh, that's a good idea, Karen. Yeah, that's a great idea. Always putting up card suggestions and your card designs on Facebook is always cool. On our Facebook page. Are the poinsettias pop-out style? No, the particular one that Brenda's asking about is not a push out. It is a fussy cut. They are beautiful though, and the cutting's really easy. Okay. Oh, it's got to put an insert in it. We have this beautiful, really, really beautiful insert for this one. We got that green dragon over here. I am going to trim a little bit off here so that I can get this main part of him in my insert. So it looks like I need to trim off, I think I trimmed off about, I'm going to say 2 inches of the outside of the dragon image to be sure to get, it wasn't quite 2 inches. I didn't cut off any of his body, I don't think. Let me see how much I did. No, I did cut off part of his body. I'm cutting this clear in here. So yeah, 2 inches is just right. cut 2 inches off the outside of your insert, and then this dragon will fit nicely. I'll show you what I did here. You could also do this as a two-sided insert if you wanted to, but I thought this looked pretty good. So that's what I'm going for. Okay. All right. Okay. And I'm going to pop him right in here. And I'm going to cut around the edges. And there we go. I just love the way these inserts look when you open the card. They're so pretty. Okay, so we got this and this done. I got a few more little pieces here for tags. I can toss this one. Let's pull this last one down and finish it. You got a pretty piece of insert for that. Okay, I've got this piece of black. And I've got this piece of gold. I'm going to see how wide my black is. I think it's about 1 inch. And it is right at 1 inch. So I'm going to cut my gold to be 1.5 inches. So I have a little border on either side. I'm going to cut like a nice long strip of my gold. I'm going to layer my black on top. That gold could stand to be a little narrower, I think. I'm going to cut that off some more. I think I made it 1.5 inches. It should have been 1.25 inches. I only want 1/8 inch margins around it. Oh, that's much better. See there? That's much better. I'm going to go ahead and use some tape to make some, even though I'm just making a narrow one, I'm going to use tape flags. We'll put the tower card in the newsletter. No worries about Facebook. You're always welcome to post on Facebook though, and post your card ideas and samples. If there's a special kind of card you guys want to do, or a project you want to do, be sure you give me some feedback. Roberta will tell you that if you give me ideas and suggestions, we will do our best to comply. And some of our most popular cards this year were those glitter and glaze cards. So I'm really grateful for that suggestion that Roberta made for the glitter and glaze. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put this, I'm going to make my borders on this even with the black layer in my card. Let me show you where I'm going to. I'm not going clear from the top to the bottom. I'm skipping the gold layer and doing the next layer in, which should be 5 5/8. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Should be at 5 5/8 since we started with 5 7/8 and we left 1/4 inch. And that's just right. So I've got my strip. I've got it layered up. I'm going to good idea, Sharma. I'm going to put my tape flags on here so that I make sure I get this where I want it to be. I could put this up on foam squares if I wanted to, but I think I'm just going to make this flat and then put my image up on foam squares. Remember when we talk about using those small toppers and just making it bigger? What I'm doing with this border strip is making my my topper look bigger. Thank you, Mary R. Okay, I'm going to set this in about 3/8 of an inch maybe from the edge of my scales paper. I'm going to pull my tape again. I've got my border where I want it now. I'm going to get my topper sheet and punch out my last 2 toppers. You know, I'd say we did a pretty good job using all the components of our card kit this time. This is what's left. Nothing. Nothing. And we are going to put some foam squares up on here. Where are they? I have 2 sheets of foam squares on the desk. You would think I could keep track of one of them. Oh yeah, the scales paper. You could definitely get a beautiful scales border out of that sheet. You absolutely could do that. I just don't have any toppers left to use with it. And if I save, because I make so many cards, if I saved all of that, I wouldn't have room to move at all in this shop, and I hardly have room to move as it is because I have stuff so stacked up. Looking at our next projects, Dre says, "Look to my left."
Shall I save?
You're so funny. How about a triple stepper card? Since I don't have any machines or dies, I do fancy folds a lot. A triple stepper card. Send me a picture of what you want to see and I will make it happen. I will make it happen. Let's see. I want to go just a little lower than center on this one. I'm setting it in a little bit from the side so that my image itself is almost centered on the card. It's not straight. Let's try making it straight because that might be nice. Yeah, my image itself is almost centered on the card, but it's using this border to give it more what's my word? It's not dimension. It does kind of add a little dimension, but it's just kind of adding to the size of that topper. It gives it the impression of being bigger than it is. I'm going to put this little tag that I have left. This one says, "Let your dreams soar." In the upper right-hand corner, you have a tower of cats to your left. Fancy folds are fun. I do like doing folded cards. I really do. Betty Gozzle says, "I have a mountain of paper scraps to my left." I believe you. I believe you. We paper crafters tend to have mountains of scraps, don't we? Okay, let's put an insert in it. We have this wonderful insert left that really matches this image. I'm going to use the upper part of this insert. Once again, I think I'll kind of cut off the flowers at the bottom because it has the dragons in the upper part. Thank you, Thelma. It fills the negative space. Thank you. And a stack of SSC boxes on the right. I like to hear that. Okay. Focal point. Thank you, Kim. I couldn't come up with the right word. You guys are doing very well. Okay. Get my topper in there the way I like it and just close my card so it drops down into the adhesive, trim around the outside. And ladies, we have made six, count them, 6 lined cards in. How much time have we been at this, honey? 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Admittedly, they are easier cards than they often are. But look how beautiful they are. They're gorgeous. We have a gorgeous, beautiful set of cards done. 6 cards, 90 minutes. Beautiful. Not much left in the way of scraps, little bit. That's actually part of the beauty of having the kits, is you don't have to buy the great big packs of everything and then have tons of stuff that's adding to your stash. You can pretty much use up a kit and move on to the next thing. I don't have anything new to show you for next time because I haven't done them yet, but I will have by next Saturday when we meet again. Bob's still not out here, so for those who came in late, I will show you again the project that I'm making out of the bigger rice paper. Bob loved the glitter and glaze cards that we did, so we decided to make some bigger ones for his wall. And these are going to get framed. I have a little bit of work left to do on them. I want to make them just a little bit more glossy, but they are turning out beautiful. Here's the polar bear, the wolf, and the penguins. I'm going to frame all these, get another coat of glaze on them, and then pop them into a frame, and I think they should work out very nicely for his bedroom wall. And yeah, so I guess that's it. You guys have the most wonderful of Christmases. Please be safe. Please be safe. I want to know that everybody is safe and well. If you haven't already given me a thumbs up, it looks like I got 27 people watching right now. Hit that thumbs up button if you thought this was useful and fun and you thought it was a good time. And yes, we will be here next Saturday with either the fairies or the unicorns for next Saturday. And I'll try and get a class up, or a kit up for you before that class. Brittany said she'd work on those when she came in. So I have to have the cards done before she gets here. But we will have those kits up, and I'll have these two, the wolves and the dragons, up tonight. So thank you guys. Merry Christmas. Please stay safe. I love you guys, and I want you to be healthy and happy and have a nice Christmas. And we will see you on the other side of Christmas when we do our next class next Saturday. God bless you guys. Good night, Gracie. Almost forgot my good night, Gracie.